from time to time. The tornado watch, a lot of lines on here. There's one, and then this was an extension that was added on earlier. They don't really line up, but just kind of draw it all the way down, mainly 75 westward in our area under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. Let's take a look at the severe threat map. And what you can see is greater back toward the west it's been today into a level 3 and then a 2 and then a 1 for us. But this has been extended more as we've been going through the day. And then really with the stuff tomorrow, with this second round, this takes us through the overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, we're in a level 2 again. So that's up from that level 1 that we had, which means we're still not high up there for a severe threat, but it has increased from what the Storm Prediction Center was calling for yesterday. So again, let me talk about that second round, because it's hard to just say it without seeing it. So walk you through a future view here, and what you're going to see is, let's go forward. This will take us into the 6, 7 o'clock hour. And again, this is not gospel exactly where everything's going to line up, because obviously it's not picking up a lot of this stuff here. As we go forward, the motion of most of this is going to take it mainly through our western and northern counties at first as we go through these next couple hours. There's around 8 o'clock tonight on into 9, 10. Again, I can look at the high-res model and it shows it a little bit different, but the idea is to kind of stick in this area for the most part tonight. There's midnight to 2, then as we go forward, 4 or 5 in the morning, and then the question, which has been there for a couple of days, how well does the atmosphere recover? In other words, generally if you have a big line of showers and storms that come through, it will wash or turn the atmosphere over and kind of get all that instability out, where when you have that second round come in, it doesn't have quite the same thump, because it's missing all the ingredients. Now, if we don't see our southeastern counties tonight get in on this act, then there still will be enough energy there as we go into tomorrow morning for some more showers and storms. There's around lunchtime on into early afternoon, and then it'll be gone. So in other words, the takeaway is there's something to watch from now, unfortunately, through the overnight and through the first half of tomorrow. Not steadily ongoing, just a severe onslaught out there, but occasional waves of thunderstorms. As far as the tornado outlook, let me show you the high res. And then now, you've seen me use this map before. A lot of times you want to be on the low end. Well, you always want to be on the low end of the scale or not on it at all. You don't want to start getting more up into these colors. But you can see with these storms, we're still mainly in the light green as we go into later on tonight. Again, maybe the intensity will come down some in this. That's the hope for that as we go forward into tomorrow morning. Again, don't know if this is going to play out like this, to where we still have tornado potential, at least some strong gusty winds, severe thunderstorm type stuff. And you can see it does climb up a little bit as we head toward tomorrow morning with this final round that'll come through into mid-morning and then move away. So again, the next model could come in and look a little different than that, but the idea is trying to look and see where the probability is greatest. All right, so let's go back up. That tornado warning, again, is for, let's see, there's a new something. Continues severe thunderstorm warning for, that is, all right, that's Douglas and Fulton counties. That's not us there. That is just taking Carroll County out. So again, we're getting updates for all of the Peachtree City area, which is the north and central Georgia. So occasionally you're probably going to hear a sound or see me look at something that may not be exactly for us. Okay, from the Weather Service just now coming in, rotation with the tornadic cell in Taylor County appears to be weakening a bit, but the cell itself remains rather organized. So that makes me think maybe that warning will not go for another 40 minutes. That seems a long time for that cell to ride on. Even if it did, I mean, it's going to eventually outrun this polygon. So this is it right here. So, but let's just treat this all as if it could have a spin at any moment, you know, even if there's not a warning. So whereas the tornado warning may not stick around forever, any one of these that are coming across have had the history of rotating. Let me take a look and see what they were talking about with that rotation, see if I've seen anything change. It's there. I mean, you can still see it. It's a little more broad now. You don't see the red and green right up next to each other, bold, bright red, which just shows you where the wind is shifting in a very tight area right there, which gives you the spin, as you would imagine. So again, it's been a while since we've done some of the severe weather stuff. You're looking at the red and green. What that means is green would be, you know, wind going toward the radar, red going away. So what you do is you would see these winds are shifting right here, and so that would show you where the spin is. So the brighter the red and green, the closer they are together. That's going to be the tighter the couplet, which is going to throw it from a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible into tornado warning, which is what we have for now. There's the new scan, and you can see for yourself, it's kind of broadened out, almost split here a little bit. So We'll see if this warning continues, but you can see it doesn't have the same look as it did just a little while ago. Let's walk it back just a little bit here. And you can see back for a little, even when it was in its boldest state, it still was kind of broad there. Same thing as we go into now. So let's zoom the map out, and you can see other cells. Probably have to pick up Montgomery radar right here. But I just wanted to show you how the day has been. I mean, look at this stuff here. First of all, let's see. Do we even have warnings down that way? Does Alabama? No. But see, it's one of those kind of days. Notice these cells right here where you don't even see warnings with these. There are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings there. But now look back at the velocity map, looking from the, I'm just trying to use as an example. If you're going, why are you showing me this? Well, it's to show you how these storms have been behaving on the southern extent of this. Notice couplet, no warning for any of these. And you can see them marching across. Notice every one of these has some sort of little something. Let me get it to move more than once. And I think that's what we're going to see, especially with some of these storms farther toward the south here. This is the reason why you don't really want these kind of independent, renegade, discrete, isolated, whatever you want to call them, these cells. They're kind of doing their own thing. Farther up the line, we're seeing things gel more into a line, which would have fewer of these guys just kind of doing their own thing there. So here's the big picture. And again, that tornado warning goes until 6:15 for now. And we can show you the even bigger picture right there. So again, that tornado watch goes until 9. I just spoke of that cell right here, one of these. And now it is a tornado warning in Alabama. So it's that kind of thing we've been seeing today, where they'll go issued for a little bit as a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible, and then it'll go tornado warning, and then back to severe thunderstorm warning again. So the ultimate takeaway is as this is moving in, whatever you have planned tonight, just go ahead and have that safety, that place to go, just in case as this stuff comes across. Not looking at some sort of a full blowout severe weather event tonight, but just some of these isolated spots as they come across, something to keep an eye on. And again, that's why we were saying yesterday, talking about brief rotation in some of this, because, and you may have heard me talk about this before, playing whack-a-mole, the old game whack-a-mole, where the thing pops up and you hit it here, and then it goes down, and you hit it over here. So sometimes these will pop up in spots and kind of weaken down, and then your attention will be focused somewhere to another one. This one still has broad enough rotation, though, to continue watching, even as it goes through northern Taylor County on into Crawford here in a little bit. Now, if that were to stay going toward the kind of northeast here, talking maybe Bibb-Monroe line, Lake Tobosoffke area and up into southern Monroe, if it holds that way as it goes toward the east-northeast. It's not moving all that swiftly. I believe it was at 35 miles per hour. The winds within there, even with or without a tornado, still could look at 60 mile per hour winds with some of that. Looking at some of the other things as you get on up and toward the Atlanta area, heavy rain and there's zero visibility. See, I think that's going to be another problem for us later as we get through tonight and tomorrow, is going to be the flash flooding that occurs because of so much rain. If you were watching the maps yesterday, as we were looking over into Louisiana and Arkansas and these places and everything, it went from a big severe weather event to just flooding, just rain over and over again. So that'll be the secondary problem by the time we get this other round through tomorrow morning, is then looking to see about how much, just too much water. Right now, though, it's in the severe phase of wind and possible isolated tornadoes. A little bit of a couplet trying to show up there. Could just be a blip there. This is, let's see, it's northern Taylor County right now. Rolling more toward, let's see, I just switched over. That's Peachtree City radar. If you look at it from our radar in Jeffersonville, it's not showing up a lot. So you're kind of straddled in between radars. You're going to switch over to ours, and then as you move the map, it'll just pick up in different spots here. So we'll wait for the next scan to come in on that. Looking around the chat room from the National Weather Service, again, they're very busy this afternoon because it's not just here. It goes all the way up into not just west central, but northwest Georgia, Atlanta area, as these storms continue to mow on in. And if you're just joining us again, this is round 1 of 2 that we will see. The question is, how much of a round 1 do we see? Now, if you don't want 2 bad rounds, you would want this one to really just come on through heavy with a lot of rain and just really turn this atmosphere over and go ahead and get all that. The ickies. You can tell when you walk outside it's primed for something. This would help turn a lot of that over so that that next round that comes in the morning, the one with the front, wouldn't have as much to work with here. So it would be a little bit less on the scale. So far, we're trying to line things up. Goes all the way down just toward the west of Albany here. The models had indicated that maybe most of this would stay in our northwestern area tonight, not so much in our southern and southeastern counties. But I wouldn't mind seeing some of this come on through as we go through tonight to maybe help in squashing a little bit of what that second round could look like. And again, I showed you the graph model a minute ago. Let's take a look at the high-res model. This one's going to look a little bit different. There's around 8 o'clock tonight. And notice it's trying to line up. And again, still keeping it here. And I think this is where we'd start to see some flood warnings here. So far, nothing as you get into the southeastern 2/3 of our area. Let's go forward right through here. It tries to pick up on a squally sort of line that comes through maybe the Macon area as we go into 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Again, not the worst thing to happen. The more and more we can get on through here, the less severe the potential would be for tomorrow morning. There's 2, 3 in the morning, just kind of spotty stuff. Let's see how it treats the line in the morning. It shows it there. There's around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, kind of broken. But then once we're getting into the afternoon, this could be an area of focus here in our southeastern counties tomorrow as we go past lunchtime. You got the heat of the day, maybe some spots that didn't see a whole lot of rain, didn't really turn the atmosphere over. So that could be charged up for, again, not some high-risk severe threat. Neither one of these, the line that's there now and the one in the morning, but definitely something to pay attention to, as you can see. All right, back to the radar shot, seeing if we have new scans. And there's that tornado warning. I haven't heard anything from the Weather Service lately about what they plan on doing with that. Let's go into velocity mode. And see if we can make this thing go backwards here a little bit. Yeah, that new scan, that was just a blip. So very broad as far as any rotation out there. So still technically 30 minutes left on that tornado warning that is moving toward Crawford County. That may change in a minute. Maybe this will get amended and drop that part down back to a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible. Starting to see some rain coming into Crawford County, West Bibb, Monroe County, Upson County, same thing. None of this is severe. The only thing that we're seeing that is severe or potentially severe is right through here, about to come into western Crawford County. Anything else that you're having out there, if you are, let's move the map down because sometimes I get focused in on just the warning, and sometimes peace of mind is what we're looking for too. So if you're outside of this polygon area right here, everything else you have is just rain. I know it's warm, it's muggy, you're hearing a rumble of thunder, it's got that spring kind of feel out there with severe weather. Same thing as we get into southern Taylor County, Macon County, starting to see some rain coming in. So far so good on all those. But again, if you go back toward the west, it looks like they did, didn't they, Taylor?
Continues for parts of Taylor and Upson for our area, but they're trimming it down.
All right, let's see. This is just coming in. Thank you, Taylor, for catching that. Let's see. Taylor, Upson County, still 6:15. They're going, let's see, at 5:44. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Carsonville, or 9 miles north of Butler, moving northeast at 35. So they canceled part of the tornado warning, but they are keeping the Taylor County part still there, as you can see. So that's still moving toward Crawford. There's no way that thing is going to still be in that box, though, by the time we get to 6:15. That's 30 minutes from now to be well into Crawford County. So we'll see how this gets treated here in a little bit. Let's go back to the velocity mode. And you can see it, and you can also see a kind of a broad one off here, and we've been seeing that with every one of these. So still a wrinkle in the plan here in Taylor County. And if we go over and pick it up on our radar, again, we're not seeing it as well. See if I can find a different source here. There it is on base velocity. Still kind of broad. We're kind of stuck in between radar sites right there. So let's go back to the big picture here. Again, that is going to go until 6:15. But if you have plans tonight, anywhere in the western half of our viewing area, especially north and west for right now, you may want to kind of hang tight for a little bit and not go anywhere just in case. I'm not saying that all of this is going to get lit up with tornadic stuff out there, but some of these storms have just had some rotation off and on as we've been going through the day. And they've generally been kind of brief. It'll rotate for a little bit and then kind of broaden out. So it's not, at this point anyway, we're not looking at anything that is just one of these massive long track type tornadoes out there, but we still need to treat it seriously and get into that safe space as this is coming on through and just wait it on out. Unfortunately, we haven't seen things really line up into that true squall line like the models were calling for. That would be kind of a one and done. You get the line through and you walk outside and just a few showers left over and that's it. Still kind of seeing things lingering back here and not really congealing just yet. We'll see if all this starts to kind of turn into a bow that will come in and sweep some of this down, but that's not happening just yet. And again, the severe threat is greatest out toward the west. It's mainly once you get over here in Alabama, level 2, level 3 has been out here, and then it drops down eventually from a 2 into our western half into a 1. So the hope is that some of this would also be weakening down as it comes across. All right, so let's check in on that graph model and see if we've seen any movement on that. By the way, here's the look again at that storm threat I was talking about, diminishing some. But even with what comes through overnight into tomorrow morning, so the second round tomorrow was originally green. It was all a level 1. That has bumped up now to a level 2. That would be with round 2 tomorrow. All right, so here is a look at said graph model. And it does try to show, it's not really picking up on reality in some cases because they're just scattered storms all back here. So the initialization or the starting point from the model shows it more of just this cluster. But all right, let's just take this and go forward with that. You notice how it shows it mainly staying in our northern half. We'll still keep an eye on stuff that this is not showing off toward the south and west.
And I hate to interrupt you.
Hit you.
They canceled the tornado warning.
They did cancel the tornado warning. Oh,
Yes, they did.
that is fantastic. Good, because that was going to go for another 26 minutes. So, all right, let's circle the wagons here again, go back up. Don't do that. That was them canceling it, that doorbell, I guess. All clear on tornado warnings, in parentheses, for now. National Weather Service. All right, so we'll hope that that stays that way. Here is that radar shot. Again, no more tornado warnings. We have a tornado watch. Again, you're seeing 2 different boxes, but it really should be kind of one box. It's just anywhere west of 75 and then in our northern counties. That goes until 9 o'clock tonight. And so again, it doesn't mean we're going to have a ton of tornadoes or anything like that. I think what we just saw is kind of what we could see as we go through tonight. Some brief spin-ups that go for a little bit. They're not really all that tight of a rotation, kind of broad. Putting down some heavy rain, making some racket out there and some gusty winds and all that for sure, but not confirmed things, just things that are being picked up on the radar and then, make the calls to some of the local EMA offices and see if there's any damage in these spots. But I kind of envision that's the way it's going to go tonight. Brief spin-up stuff if we see anything at all. All right, Frank, I know you've had a good break over there, and we're going to go to break, and all of us have a break, and then we'll come back after this.